This is the 2017 Mercedes-AMG E63S, and quite frankly, that's all the introduction it needs. Now, to review a car like this, we've got to talk numbers. So hang in there while we deal with the ins and outs under the skin of the new E63. Up front is a 4-litre twin-turbo V8. It's the M177, the same family that's in the C63S and the AMG GT supercar. Power is up 20 kilowatts on the old E63. Torque is up too by 50 Newton meters. That means this car's got 450 kilowatts or over 600 horsepower with a whopping 800 Newton meters of torque available from the big V8. That extra power over the smaller C63 comes from newer, bigger turbochargers. All of that extra oomph comes with, well, a pretty thirsty fuel consumption claim of 9.7 litres per 100. That's a combined cycle, so expect to see your daily to be up from that. However, when you're on a cruise, the E63 will deactivate 4 of its cylinders, giving you much better fuel consumption on a cruising cycle. Power goes through a 9-speed MCT speed shift multi-clutch automatic transmission. But for the first time for an E63, it's all-wheel drive. The E63 runs a new version of the Mercedes 4MATIC system called 4MATIC Plus. What that means is it allows a variable torque split from all rear-wheel drive to a roughly 50-50 split front-wheel drive, and it adapts as you're driving the car. Now, being based on the latest E-Class platform means that the E63 is chock full of all the latest safety and infotainment technology, including the pair of 12.3-inch LCD screens that, well, basically give you all the information that you need in really crystal clear clarity. Now, all that new stuff is really cool, but it all happens under the skin. So what have they done to the E63 on the outside? Well, as a canvas, the W213 E-Class is a pretty attractive car. The E63 scores this massive front air dam, wider arches and a bulging bonnet, and it certainly looks monstrous and aggressive when it's coming up behind you. But where the E63 does lose a little bit of impact though, is down the back. As for all the pumping and venting the car's done at the front, it's almost as if it's skipped leg day. These rear arches don't look any wider. And sure, you get this nice lip spoiler, the diffuser and the quad exhaust pipes. To be honest, the back of the E63 looks the same as every other E-Class, or C-Class. Muscular lines aside, the E63 is certainly purposeful. The car sits lower and has a wider track, both front and rear, than a regular E-Class. You still get plenty of space though, making this very much the sensible executive on a diet of protein shakes. So how does all of this translate to the road? Now, first of all, that power is nothing short of ridiculous. All 800 Newton meters of torque are yours from just 2,500 RPM, meaning this thing has no shortage of response in any gear. And that sound, when you really up it, you've got a sound from the exhaust as well as from the engine, and it can sound like a stock car mixed with the pops and cracks on overrun. It's a lot of fun. Now, the upgraded power gives the E63 more performance. Mercedes claim it will do a 3.4 second 0 to 100 sprint. But we've found it's not that, it's the 80 to 100 and something performance in that mid-gear, mid-speed response section that is just mind-blowing. You really have to watch your license in this thing. But to be honest, straight line power is what AMG have become famous for, and we weren't really surprised by that. What has impressed us the most about the E63 is the grip you get from the four-wheel drive system. The way the car adjusts and adapts its grip and drive when you're mid-corner or even dealing on surfaces that change, it's pretty much staggering. It's like the car treats every surface as the same. There's no shortage of grip. Now, we're on public roads. We can't really push this thing to the limit, but everywhere we've gone, we've been finding this thing is capable time and time again, and we're holding more and more speed through every corner. I don't think you could ever reach the limits of the E63 if there's a speed limit about. What's also surprising is just how comfortable and usable the E63 is when you dial it all back to its default comfort setting. The only thing I will say is that these seats, which are the Sport Recaros that are familiar to the C63, can get a little firm on a longer drive. Thankfully, for old soft people like me, you can option in more comfortable seats from the E43 as a no-cost option. Now, I know what you're saying. You said nothing negative about the car. It can't be perfect. And you know what? You're right. We've barely scratched the surface of what this car can do. And that's because we've been driving it on public roads. To really understand the capabilities and limits of the new E63, we're going to have to take it to a track. And I, for one, can't wait to do that.